Welcome to another edition of the Harvard Business Review Must Reads. In these videos, we talk about articles which help you professionally and personally. In this video, we will be talking about the article How Apple is Organized for Innovation by Joel Podolny and Morten Hansen. Viewers, as you know, Apple is the world's most valuable brand and is known for breaking boundaries with innovation. It has released numerous products including smartphones, watches, and others. For today's videos, I've invited Dr. Athar Mansoor, CEO Track. So welcome.
Thank you.
Sir, can you shed more light on Apple as a company, give a little background of Apple?
Yeah. So Apple has grown into a multi-billion-dollar company over the years. Steve Jobs took over in 1997. It was not a very big company at that point in time. Almost 8,000 employees worked at Apple, and the revenue of the company was just around $7 billion. As of today, Apple stands at a revenue of around $394.3 billion, and the employee base is more than 160,000.
Okay.
So from 1997 to 2023-2024, Apple has come a long way. It is a company well known for innovation in its products, especially hardware, software, and services. So this is the overall overview of the company. And Apple is, as you have rightly pointed out, it's a company which is known for teasing the frontiers of technology and innovation. It breaks the boundaries, rather it sets new frontiers, and it always pushes the frontiers of technology. So basically how Steve Jobs turned around the company or built the company is an interesting story, which I would like to share with the viewers here. When Jobs took over, Apple was running on a traditional strategic business unit model. There were different business units which ran on P&L basis, which is called profit and loss basis. So this was how the organization was structured. Jobs in one day removed all business managers from the business units, the heads, and he converted it into a functional organization. Okay. By converting it into a functional organization, it does not mean that P&L or profit and loss was not given any preference or priority, but it was run in a different manner. And I'm going to explain later on in the video how functional unit is different from traditional business units. Okay. So this is how Jobs transformed the organizational structure of the organization. What he wanted to do, he wanted to basically align expertise through functional structure with decision rights. Okay. So the experts would be taking decisions for the benefit of the company. That was the basic philosophy behind the functional structure of the organization. Mm-hmm. The entire company came under one P&L kind of a approach, rather than different business managers or business unit managers fighting each other over the transfer price issues. Okay. Because in the traditional business unit style of organization, the managers of different business units, they compete against each other over the transfer pricing issue. Okay. So Jobs wanted to overcome this challenge, and that is why he converted it into a functional unit.
Oh, thank you, sir. So you talked about a functional organization. So why did Jobs or Apple created a functional organization when the prevailing structure was against it? Like, why did he focus on converting it to a functional organization?
Yeah. So Jobs is well known in business circles as a person who questions the conventional ways of doing things, right? So he was known as a disruptor, as an innovator, and that's why so much has been written about him. And that is why this company today stands at around $400 billion with 164,000 employees almost. A very big, huge company. You are right, absolutely right. that generally companies, when they become bigger, they transition from functional to multi-divisional structures,
Yes.
right? But here it was the other way around. And Jobs did it because he was of the view that all the products which would come out of Apple would enrich the lives of the people. So he was focusing on one, innovation, the other, enriching the lives of the people. So adding value to their lives through the gadgets which they are going to hold, whether they are smartphones like iPhones or watches or iPads or anything else. So Jobs was focused on that. He wanted that experience should be combined with expertise.
Okay.
That was his major philosophy. So experienced people who are knowledgeable and who are experts in their own field, they should blend their experience with their knowledge to churn out better products. And again, focusing on adding value to people's lives through better functioning products which have better features, which have better functionality, and which can really excite people and which can really be attractive to the people. Although Jobs wanted profits, but he thought that the traditional business units were focused on short term profits and costs.
Mhm.
He wanted to focus on long run profits and long run cost cutting.
Okay.
And for that, he wanted to start a culture or kickstart a culture of perpetual innovation. So, because you see, innovation is something which which disrupts everything, and it's, as Schumpeter says, it's a perennial gale which just sweeps away old technologies. And old technologies, it's a creative destruction kind of a thing, right? You creatively destroy old things and you bring in new things which again get destroyed creatively by other innovative things, right? So that is how Jobs philosophy was working, and that is what he was focused on. So the main idea was that the best of the best, with their knowledge and experience, should be placed at the best functional level, and then they should lead that innovation. So this is how he changed the entire organizational culture and structure.
Okay, perfect. Talking about leadership, what are the three leadership characteristics of leaders at Apple? Can you shed light on them?
This is very important, yes. So, the way he led the organization, he tried to inculcate at all levels, managerial levels, leadership levels, because all managers are also leaders. Managers also assume the role of leadership. So, three things which he inculcated and which actually now are integral part of the culture of the organization, and which eventually help the organization move towards more innovation. The first characteristic is that the leaders should have deep expertise in their own domain. The second is that they should be ready to immerse themselves into details. So, immersion into details, in detail, is very important. And finally, the third characteristic is that the leaders should be have the willingness to indulge into collaborative debates.
Okay.
These are the three important characteristics which propel innovation or which push innovation further in at Apple, right? So coming to deep expertise, by deep expertise, Apple means, or the Apple culture is really influenced through deep expertise, is that people uh, who have the best knowledge or best you see information about something, they are placed at the best, at
At
their
the top.
appropriate places.
Okay.
And then because they have that deep expertise, they are able to inspire their teams,
I see.
because they are coming with a lot of authentic kind of knowledge, and this actually leads them towards excellence, and they lead their teams towards excellence. One striking example of deep expertise is the example of Roger Rosner. Roger was a graduate of Carnegie Mellon University. He was an electrical engineer, and he started with Apple in 2001. In 2001, he started as a senior engineering manager. Then he moved up into the hierarchy, and finally, he became the vice president of productivity apps.
Okay.
And so as he moved up into the hierarchy, his deep expertise uh, strengthened further, and he was able to inspire a lot of more people within his team. And that is how he was able to lead them effectively and efficiently towards more innovation. The second characteristic is immersion in the details. So, this is very important because if you are unable to immerse yourself into the details, you cannot become an innovator and a disruptor. So, you have to go into the details and mechanics of how things have to be designed, how they have to be how they have to become appealing to the buyers. And Apple requires that every leader at his level should be immersed into details at 3 levels down, at least three
Okay.
levels down. So, the details into which the leader should immerse himself or herself should be 3 levels down into the hierarchy. And one very good example of immersing into details is that you viewers must have seen the Apple products and the rounded edges of those products. Like for example, iPhone
Yes.
is a rectangular product, but the edges of iPhone are rounded. So this rounded technology of Apple is different from other phones or other rectangular pieces of technology, and it is called spherical
Squircle.
technology.
Okay.
Spherical. So spherical is something which was a result of deep immersion into details at Apple, where the uh, teams sat together and they tried to come up with a technology of how the edges should be made continuous, so that when they become circular, they should be smoothly continuous, unlike many other products, so that viewers, when hold them, they feel the delight of holding something exceptional or extraordinary. So was the result of immersing into details. And the last characteristic of leaders at Apple is the willingness to collaborate into debates.
I see.
So, for example, Apple's cameras are very popular across
Yes.
the world. For example, the dual lens camera, it is the result of collaboration of at least 40 specialists,
Oh.
so who came together, and then they designed and executed this project of the dual lens camera at Apple. Viewers also know that the Apple's camera technology has evolved since 2010
True.
dramatically.
True.
And now Apple's camera are well known across the world for their features, for their how they capture, and the features of the camera are so interesting and exciting that people don't need to buy separate cameras,
Exactly.
but they can do excellent, outstanding photography through Apple's camera. So this was the result of, as I've told you, 40 people specialists coming together. Similarly, there was a debate at Apple, which I would like to share with the viewers, is about the portrait mode and having blurred background.
Okay.
So there was a debate between specialists that the feature would be functional after the user takes the picture. So you take the picture and then you can blur the background. But there was another school of thought at Apple which argued that the user should get this feature before. So he or she should be able to adjust the photograph in the portrait mode and blur it and see how it feels. And the debate went on for months, about 8 months. And after 8 months, they came up with the solution, and they were able to put in this feature that in portrait mode, the user can blur
Okay.
the picture before he or she clicks it, so that he or she feels more empowered through this feature. So I think these are important features at Apple in terms of the structure. It's a functional structure. And the most surprising thing, that the structure which Jobs raised in 1997 is still existent at Apple.
Oh.
So although it was the other way around, as I've told you, that companies move from functional to multi-divisional structure, but Jobs removed the business unit structure, the division structure, and he moved to functional structure immediately. He, in fact, removed many managers in one day when he took over. And these three characteristics are extremely important. Deep expertise, immersion into details, and finally, the willingness to collaborate into through debates.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Viewers, just summing up, I would like to add that, as sir mentioned, innovation is a multifaceted topic. It includes leadership, creativity, and lots of healthy debates between different sectors of the organization. As you know, Steve Jobs, I would say he's a revolutionary figure, and his legacy has impacted Apple since now. We're all accustomed to using Apple products, and sir has shed light on Apple's vision, Apple's process, techniques, and innovation. Thank you for listening to the videos, and please keep subscribing to Tax. Thank you.